All right, today we're going to be doing our week 9 predictions. As you can see in week 8, I actually did pretty good, went 12 and 3, so hopefully I can carry some of that momentum heading into this week and have another good week like that. And without further ado, we're going to get right into it. So, let's see. We have the Eagles, undefeated Eagles at the Houston Texans. What do we got for this one, Jake? I don't think it's a debate, but
Um, well, I think if you're living under a rock or from the city of Houston, I think we're picking the Texans. But I myself do not live under a rock and know that the Eagles are undefeated. And I don't see them going to Houston and losing this game. Really don't.
300%.
I've got the Eagles.
I got the Eagles too. It's prime. I don't see, like you said, I don't see them going to Houston losing. Better team in general. So I'm going to go with Philly on this one as well. Takes us to the first Sunday game. Have the Chargers at the Falcons. So this is interesting. Um, this is really a coin toss for me on who's going to win. The Chargers have been a little lackluster to me so far this season. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know if you agree with me or not on that, but just haven't been the hit that I thought they would be. I mean, they have had some injuries, but every team really does have its injuries. But looking at this game, man, I'm gonna actually probably go with the Dirty Birds. I'm gonna go with the Falcons to actually pull this off, just because I'm not seeing enough from the Chargers to really feel confident in picking them, especially on the road.
I totally agree with you. I've been let down by the Chargers. I had a lot of high hopes for them. I like Justin Herbert's game, Keenan Allen. Gotta love those guys, but they just they just haven't seemed to have it. They lost, games that we thought, you you'd think that they should have won. Um, I I'm sad to say I think this might be another one of those games where, you look at it, Atlanta's not having the best of season. I mean, both these teams are basically in the same boat. They're having a shaky season. I mean, Atlanta hopes weren't as high as what Charger fans would have the Chargers hopes for, but um, with all that said, though, I'm gonna have to go with you. I'm gonna go with the Dirty Birds. I'm going with Atlanta this week.
All right, that's two for the Dirty Birds. Like I said, I was feeling iffy on this one, but for obvious reasons, we're gonna go with Atlanta. So the next game we have the Dolphins going to Chicago taking on the Bears. I'm excited to hear what you got to say on this one.
I'm I'm just happy for the Bears trading away their whole defense and trading Roquan Smith. I mean, that's a great move by them. I applaud the Bears front office for that move. Um, I don't think it helps them for this game though on Sunday because they do have to play defense against the Cheetah and Tua. Not really high on the Dolphins this year. I think they're frauds. Said that earlier in the earlier episode, but I got the Dolphins this week though. I don't think the Bears are good. I think they still have their issues being more than just on the field. I think the Bears in general are just a dumpster fire right now. I mean, they're always a dumpster fire, but they're a big dumpster fire right now.
Couldn't agree with you anymore, man. I mean, like you said, the Bears just trading away Roquan Smith, and Bears just really not having an identity other than just, hey, let's give it to Justin Fields, make him do everything. So they're right now a dumpster fire. And although they did have a good win last week against New England, it didn't carry over into this next week. But Miami, like you said, Chicago's defense is they're gonna have their hands full against Miami, and I agree with you. I mean, I believe that this team will make the playoffs, but I don't think they should be considered a legit Super Bowl threat or a contender at all. I think that they're maybe a tier or two below that. So, but I still think they're better than Chicago, so I'm going to go with Miami on this one as well. So, next game we have the Carolina Panthers at the Bengals, and we just watched the highlights for the Bengals game. We thought it really should have been an easy win for them, and it wasn't. It was actually one of the probably most surprising losses of the year we've seen so far. So, who do you have for this one?
I mean, after watching them highlights, that was a depressing, very depressing showing by that offensive line. It shows that that's still their problem. That was their problem last year in the Super Bowl, and it's still obviously their problem, and I think it's becoming a bigger problem. Because I mean, if you can't keep Joe clean, I mean, you're not. If you can't keep your quarterback clean, everybody knows what happens there. But Carolina's, and I didn't I didn't see exactly what happened last week. It's a if you saw it, maybe fill me in. What happened with the whole he caught a touchdown and took off his helmet and then got a flag for it, and that's what cost him the game?
Yeah, so what ended up happening is they have the ball with they're only down by 6, right? So they need the touchdown in the PAT. So his name's TJ Walker or TJ Walker. He throws a touchdown pass to him. It catches it in the end zone. It's a bomb, and it's one of those like holy shit, they just won the game moment. And like you said, took off his helmet, and they got a penalty on the kick. Pushed it back, I think 15 yards. Kicker ends up missing the PAT, goes into overtime, and then Atlanta ends up winning because of it.
Ouch! What a hard way to lose.
Yeah. Very,
Um,
very brutal.
I mean, with that said, I'm gonna go out on a limb though. I'm gonna say they use that as fire. I think Carolina can. I think they can come into Cincy and maybe steal this one. The Bengals are having a shaky season. They, especially after that loss to the Browns. I did not see that. I still can't wrap my mind around. I can't believe we just watched those highlights, and I still can't believe it. I've got Carolina actually stealing this one.
I am half tempted to pick Carolina as well. They're riding off that momentum that they beat Tampa 2 weeks ago and really should have beaten Atlanta last week. But I'm tempted, but I think Cincinnati's gonna get pissed off after what happened on Monday night, where the whole league watched it. Joe Burrow's pretty damn good at bouncing back after a loss, so I'm gonna go with Cincy on this one, but not with the uttermost confidence. So it's Jake with the Panthers and me with the Bengals. So it takes us to the next game. Ooh, okay. So division rivals going at it. This is Green Bay at Detroit, and me and Jake were talking about this before, where we were both going to pick Detroit, and then Jake, you broke the news to me shortly before we started recording, where T.J. Hawkinson got traded to the Vikings in our division. I really think that changes everything. I was going to pick the Lions for this one. Green Bay looked good in the second half against Buffalo last week. Rodgers just always seems to have a stranglehold against this team. Then Detroit just trading away our star tight end. I'm going with the Packers on this one.
I'm actually saddened to see you guys trade TJ because he's a damn good tight end. Arguably, in my eyes, I think he's the best tight end in the NFC North, and that's no disrespect to Tunyon in Green Bay, but that man TJ Hawkinson is a beast. And to see him now being in that hideous purple and oh god, I feel so bad. But um it's hard for me to make this pick because I mean, on one hand I've got my team and the other hand there's a division rival. My team has let me down so many weeks when I pick them. I don't think they can let me down this week though. I'm going with the Pack.
So that's two for the Pack, and like I said, I was gonna pick Detroit for this one because I know we can put points up on the board, but you broke the news to me about TJ, and that really and we trade him within division, so we're gonna have to see him again in a couple of weeks. But going with Green Bay, so that's two for the Pack on this one. That takes us to the next game. Okay, talk about disappointing. We have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll let you take the reins on this because I got a little bit of a rant to go to with the Raiders.
So are they charging people to go to this game, or are they just giving out tickets? Because I don't think you could give me a ticket to watch this game.
I think they're giving them away. I actually got an email saying, "Hey, free tickets. No one wants to watch this."
Oh, man. Um, Gosh, I mean, what do we say? Vegas last week, a horrible show. I mean, arguably, they didn't even show up. They scored as many points as the teams who had the bye week did, and they were actually playing in a game. Um, I just laugh at Vegas now because Devontae Adams' comment, "I'm going from one Hall of Famer to another Hall of Famer." It's sure showing, pal. That's, what I have to say on that. For my pick, though, on this game, I'm going Jacksonville. I don't know how anybody can pick the Raiders. I mean, I feel bad for Raider fans,
I'm
but
I'm with you 100%, man. I'm done picking the Raiders. I'm going with the Jaguars on this one. Raiders just the talent that they have, it's just inexcusable for them to be where they're at. You know. And I was really high on this team at the beginning of the year, and they're not showing it. And you said it best. I feel bad for these Raider fans, man, because this is utter disappointing shit that they've got to deal with right now. It's not right, man. And you made the playoffs last year, and you improve your offense, which you think would sure certify you a spot this year. But that's my little rant on the Raiders. I'm done picking them. Probably won't pick them anymore unless it's really a no-brainer. But I'm gonna go with Jacksonville on this one, and I'll see you there, Jake, since they're giving away the tickets for this one.
well, since it's in Jacksonville, we can go up to their pool that they got since Jacksonville is the only stadium with a pool.
That is true. That is true. I'll
I
see you
guess
poolside, brother.
see a poolside, man.
All right, so this is gonna be a good one. We have the Colts at the Patriots in Foxborough. What you got for this one, man?
Seeing this matchup here, I mean, I love seeing this matchup whenever they play. I love seeing it on the schedule because the first thing that comes back to, a quote unquote old head now, we think of Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady. That was always, you see Indy, you see New England. Okay, we're getting MVP versus another MVP. Now it's not as hyped up as it used to be, and it's sad, but I think we still have a good matchup. Jonathan Taylor, Mac Jones, right? Mac Jones is starting.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we got a good matchup. I'm gonna go with the Pats though. I think better coach wise. I think Indy's still kind of trying to find that identity. Yeah, I definitely don't think the quarterback they got is the guy. I think that's a whole different topic. They definitely need a new quarterback. I think that's what Indy is lacking. I think that's what's gonna really screw them out of this game because I don't think you can just run the ball against a Bill Belichick defense.
I'm with you. I've got New England as well. I just think that all around the team's better. Um, like you said, although they have Jonathan Taylor, decent team built around them. Just the quarterback really is the issue. And I think that Bill Belichick's going to have a scheme for it, and he's going to have a plan for how to attack it. So I think that I'm going to go with New England on this one, and I agree with you 100%. Every time I see this game, it just brings me back to the old days. Peyton versus Tom back in the day, man, and just good memories between this rivalry. Too bad it's not a rivalry anymore. But I'm also going to go with New England on this one. So 2 for New England. The next game we have two division rivals going at it. We have the red hot, probably best team in the league, Buffalo Bills, going up against the New York Jets. So I'm not going to waste any time here. Zach Wilson, I think, is hurting the Jets. Also, the Patriots still own the Jets. Just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, no, I'm not going with the Jets on this one. Bills are a better team all around, so I'm going with the Bills.
I'm I'm with you as well. I'm not sold on this Zach Wilson. Um, I think it's just a lot of hoopla and hype around him. if you're gonna be a good player, I mean, let's see it on the field, I guess. The Jets have been a joke for a long time. I mean, they're playing a whole lot better this year than I have seen probably in my entire life. Um, with that said, though, I'm still not picking the Jets. Buffalo, they're red hot. Buffalo's still arguably this everybody's Super Bowl pick almost. I mean, they've arguably been everybody's Super Bowl pick for the last 9 weeks now. I'm not changing that. I'm rolling with Buffalo.
That's two for Buffalo. I will say this about Zach Wilson. Hell of a player off the field. On the field, not so much. Leave it at that.
I see what you did there.
Oh, next game we have the Minnesota Vikings going to Washington and playing the Commanders. As much as I want to pick Washington for this one, I think that Minnesota, they've a quiet 6-1 team now, and they just got better with T.J. Hawkinson. But I will say this, and I think you will agree with me. There's no one that's taken this team serious still, and I will not take this serious. I will not take this team serious yet either. And sorry, but I think it's a quarterback issue. You can improve the team all you want, but I just don't think Kirk Cousins is the guy. But regardless, I'm still going to go with Minnesota on this one. I just think they're the better team.
I mean, Minnesota, better team. Definitely back to what you said. I think their issue is definitely quarterback. I have no faith in any team that has Kirk Cousins as a quarterback. That's just horrible, horrible. Um, I hope to God Washington wins. I'm gonna pick Washington because I will not pick Minnesota. Even when I'm dead, I will not pick Minnesota. But it's really hard to pick Washington. But hopefully Terry McLaurin, he can work some magic and hopefully tear up that defense. But yeah, it's gonna be a hard fought game for Washington if they want to win.
So you're picking Washington?
I'm picking Washington.
I'm even thinking about it right now. I kind of want to pick Washington, but I'm going to go with Minnesota. This one, I think I'm definitely going to look back, and I think I'm going to regret it, but I'm still going to stick with Minnesota. So Minnesota on my side and Jake going with the Commanders. So next game, we have division rivals going at it. We have the Seahawks at the Cardinals. Jake, I'm going to let you take the reins on this one.
My my buddy Dilo told me Sunday when he looked me in the face and he said, "Gino for MVP." I just had to laugh, but I mean, we got to talk about Geno Smith for a second here. Who thought that he would step in for Russell Wilson and do this? I don't think anybody. Um, on the Cardinals end, I think they're struggling to find their identity. I think they're struggling as a team to be a team. The hopes were high for them. They've fallen flat on their face out of the gate. Uh, I think if they want to get back into it, I think this is the game they start. I mean, almost last week should have been it, but I'm gonna go with Seattle. I like what Geno Smith's doing up there. I like what's going on in Seattle. I'm going with Seattle.
I agree with everything you said. I think Geno is being overlooked. Seattle's having a great year. We should give Pete Carroll his flowers for pretty much running this team pretty damn well without missing a beat with Geno Smith. And I really like this team. And on the Arizona side of it, like you said, I think this would have last week against Minnesota. They showed a lot of fight. Would have been a good game to kind of start your turnaround. But I think this is the game where they turn it around. And I really want Seattle to win this game. I'm really rooting for Geno Smith, but I think just considering this is a divisional opponent, I think I'm going to go with Arizona. I think another week with DeAndre Hopkins, they're going to start getting that rhythm together, and I think it's Arizona. This might be a turning point for them, but I'm going to go with Arizona on this, despite Seattle being on a hot streak right now. So Jake going with the Seahawks, and then me going with the Cardinals on this one. Next game, I think this might be game of the week here. We have Maybe not, but we have the defending champions, Rams going to Tampa Bay, rematch of last year's divisional round. Two teams that are having a pretty rough start. So, looking at it on both sides, I think it's going to be a pretty ugly game. And I'm not comfortable picking either of these teams right now, just with the start that they've had, but I think I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay on this one, just because I think that this might be the turnaround point for them. And you can hear in my voice I'm not too confident in saying that. This defense has always given Brady fits, but I really think that they've got that extra couple days to rest since they played Thursday last week, so I think it'll pay off for them. And I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers on this one. So
This one's a little bit of a tough pick for me because in my eyes, both these teams, the season that they've started out with, I compare it to two people having a race, racing in a 40-yard dash, but their shoes are tied together.
it's
Um,
fair.
it's on one hand, LA, everybody's, you know, I mean, they're missing Odell. I think that's definitely a big key to why their offense isn't hitting like it was last year. I think they're missing a piece. Uh, Tampa Bay, on the other hand, we talked about it earlier. I think the main thing is coaching. I I think missing Bruce Arians is a big thing. I think accountability there is being lacked. I don't think players are being held accountable, and that's why they're getting this lackluster play. Um, I still love seeing the fieriness from the old man, the goat, though. Chewing his offensive lineman out. Gotta love seeing that.
Preach that.
I mean, with my pick though, I'm going with Tom Brady though. I'm going with the Bucks. I think he can. I think he figures it out. I mean, he's got to. I can't watch this man have a bad season. It's already hard enough watching Rodgers have the season he's having. Like at least one of them turn it around and have a good game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this will be a good turning point for them. They've had a couple extra days of rest to do some soul searching. Tom Brady's, I mean, I know this is his personal life, but his divorce is final now, I believe. So move on. Move on to the next chapter. And hopefully it starts with a win here. So that's two of us going for Tampa. Uh, so the Sunday night game takes us to King Henry and the Tennessee Titans. The quiet um, momentum riding Titans going to the red hot Kansas City Chiefs off a bye. Jake, I'll let you take the reins on this one.
Uh, I know Arrowhead, is always loud, and I'd be worried to be going into Arrowhead anytime. But now they're coming off a bye, so Kansas City Chiefs fans haven't had anything to cheer about for a week, so their voices are well rested. I think Arrowhead's going to be rocking. Tennessee, they're on a bit of a streak. They're rolling. I think it ends here though. I think Patty does Patty things with Travis Kelsey. I see him and Kelsey hooking up a few times for touchdowns on that defense. I've got Kansas City.
I don't think I need to add any more. I mean, you said you covered pretty much everything. Off a bye in Arrowhead. Um, you know, Kelsey and Mahomes gonna be having that connection, so couldn't have said it better myself. I've also got Kansas City for this, but want to give the Titans some props. They've started out rough, but they've come back and a quietly decent good season so far. So, but I'm going with the Chiefs for this one. And to wrap up the week, we have on Monday night, we have the Baltimore Ravens at the Saints. This, I think, will be interesting. And looking at it, I don't know if this will even be considered an upset, but actually, I take that back. I was going to go with the Saints, but I forgot that we mentioned earlier Roquan Smith just got traded to the Ravens. I think that's going to really help their defense. And I think I'm going to go with Baltimore on this one, but I could definitely see it going New Orleans way, especially it's in the Superdome. So I'm gonna go with Baltimore in this one. I think that they are also coming off that rest, a couple extra days. So I
Mhm.
think that's gonna pay off for them, and I'm gonna go with the Ravens for this one.
Yeah, I think the trade for Roquan Smith is gonna help their defense a lot. Um, Not really sold on Lamar Jackson though, but I it's New Orleans. New Orleans really doesn't have, big time playmakers. I mean, their defense isn't what it used to be. I I've got Baltimore in this one. Kind of shaky saying that. I kind of want to go with the Saints, but I like you said, I think the pickup for their defense, I think it really helps them, and I think it's going to open their eyes and see that picking up Roquan was definitely a very good piece for their defense.
Yep, that's I was a little shaky on this pick too, but I think it's safe to say that the defense is gonna help win this game a lot, and like we both got Baltimore for this one. So those are our picks for the Week 9 schedule. Let us know in the comments who you got. I want you to just want to thank you, Jake, for hopping on, and
Hey, thank you for having me as always, man. I appreciate it.
always welcome, man. Always welcome. Again, guys, thank you for tuning in. Do me a favor and go follow Jake from Bake Pharma on Twitch. He's got some great content on there. And we will see you next week.
Like and subscribe.